efforts to promote good governance and institutionalize values in our democracy and society. Speaker, African Students Union has urged African youths to stop drug abuse and become good and exemplary leaders. Our correspondent, Aminu Adamu, tells us more.
The Speaker, African Students Union Parliament, Honorable Kewo Ebe, called on African youths to be dedicated to serving their fatherland, saying Africans must develop African by themselves. Honorable Kewo Ebe stated this in Kaduna, the state capital, while commending the state resident electoral commissioner for his style of leadership before and after the 2019 general elections, which has earned him an award. Speaking to newsmen after the award presentation, Honorable Kewo Ebe advised African youths to be dedicated to their studies and must stay off drugs to enable them become good leaders.
Youths are no longer the leaders of tomorrow, the youth are the leaders of today. I've been in Nigeria for some days now, and I heard of some states where the young people emerged as speakers of their respective House of Assembly. So therefore the youth are leaders of today. And then for us to handle the affairs of this nation, the affairs of Africa, we need to stay away from drugs. We said the problem of Africa is that of leadership, yet our current leaders are not drug addicts, they don't abuse drugs. What happens years from now when these drug abusing youth take over as leaders? Africa will be scattered, Africa will be doomed. And so we call on all youth to ensure that Africa is great again. Let us shun drugs. Drugs takes away our mentality into the other world. We don't think right if we are on drugs. Even academic environment, if you are on drugs, you can't concentrate. And then academic is one of the shortest routes for Africa to escape. And so we call on youths of Africa to shun drugs and take the activities.
The INEC resident electoral commissioner, Alhaji Abdullahi Kaugama, urged the ASUP leaders to extend the drug abuse campaign beyond youth, saying some elderly also need rehabilitation and awareness.
You have a lot to do, and we should recognize, I will tell the Commission, that your organization should be got to target more, because the major thing are the youth. And this drug abuse you are talking about, when you talk to say, I don't see a 50 years resident electoral commissioner not to drug abuse. No, we have seen it in the National Assembly. We have seen it. We have been screened. We have screened some of them. We have seen, and you can see what their political parties are doing. So don't limit it to that. So our target, we are saying, yes, youth are the majority of those drug abuse something, but at least please extend it. At the same time, as I've always said to my administration at Yabo, in this very particular state, this commission.
Aminu Adamu, TVN News.
Nigeria is said to be the largest producer and consumer of cowpeas in Africa, and while Nigerian farmers are getting help with a new technique of farming cowpea by scientists, the Institution of Agriculture Research at Ahmadu Bello University Zaria says Nigeria stands to gain over 16 billion naira annually from farming cowpea varieties. Our correspondent Aminu Adamu tells us more.
In line with President Muhammadu Buhari's resolve to deploy science and technology in growing the economy, the Institute of Agricultural Research, Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, produced a variety of cowpea that is pot-bearer resistant, which has potentials of saving Nigerian 16 billion naira annually. This was disclosed during a press briefing by the lead scientist, pot-borer resistant cowpea, Professor Ishaku Muhammad at the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. Speaking to journalists, Professor Muhammadu Ishaku explained the economic benefit of the product.
DNA has granted us the go-ahead to plant this new variety all over the country. The federal government has also put another mechanism of control that if you develop new varieties, whether it is through genetic engineering or conventional techniques of plant breeding, it must go for an assessment of its potential, agronomic advantage by a group of individuals called the National Variety Release Committee, which is resident in the Federal Ministry of Science and Technology. We have compiled the data for this purpose, and come December 2019, this data will be presented to, in addition to the data presented to NBMA and the approval, evidence of approval by NBMA, we shall provide clear agronomic advantages associated with this new variety, and then the variety will be formally registered as a commercial variety. Then it will be produced by farmers. This means that commercial production of this variety will only commence around after year 2020. As soon as the registration or release is completed, seeds have been multiplied. The seeds will be handed to the National Agricultural Seed Council, who will now regulate the dissemination of the seed commercially through seed companies and so on and so forth.
He said that the federal government has tested and approved the cowpea beans and will be made available to Nigerians for commercial production by December 2019. Amino Adamo, TVN News.
The Nigerian Immigration Service has asked all former commissioners, lawmakers and ministers to return via diplomatic passports to avoid embarrassment at airports. The Controller General of Immigration, Mohammed Babandede, warned those that fall into this category to submit their diplomatic passports to the Nigerian Immigration Services or will be taken away from them at airports, as only former President, Vice President and Head of State are qualified to hold on to their diplomatic passports for life. Babandede stated that agreements have been made with the National Assembly for outgoing lawmakers' severance package to be withheld until they return their diplomatic passports after their term in office. The 6th Division Nigerian Army protected Rivers State on Saturday court-martialed 14 soldiers consisting of 3 officers and 11 men for kidnapping, murder, attempted murder and other offences. The Controller Officer commanding 6th Division, Major General Jamil Saham, who is also the Land Component Commander of Operation Delta Safe, while inaugurating the General Court-Martial, declared that the Army would not condone indiscipline. President of the Court-Martial, Brigadier General Bassi Etuk, assured he and 6 other members of the panel would do justice and they would not betray the confidence reposed in them. The Federal Road Safety Corps (FRSC) has arrested no fewer than 5,613 offenders nationwide during the recent Salah celebrations. FRSC Public Education Officer B.C. Kazim stated that the offenders were apprehended for 6,481 offenses committed across 2,053 routes covered by the courts during its special patrol operations, which lasted 6 days as part of the Corps' renewed commitment towards creating a safer monitoring environment in Nigeria. Kazim also disclosed that the FRSC successfully recorded a 7% decrease in the total number of road traffic crashes, reduction in fatality during the 2019 Eid al-Kabir, saying the decrease during the period was as a result of improved patrols, robust public enlightenment campaign and prompt rescue services.